Hi and welcome to this introduction to Pilates sessions. You're likely watching this video because you signed up or are curious about signing up for some Pilates classes with me. This video is designed to give you a little bit of a feel for how a class runs, the positions that we might go into, and that all important how to recruit your core and your pelvic floor, because as a pelvic health physio, I'm going to be mentioning it quite a bit because I want you to get the maximum effort, the maximum gains from each of the classes that you attend. So when we do a Pilates class, I say hi to you all and I ask about your week or ask about if there's any injuries. Please raise your hand and let me know if there are any specific things that you want to work on or any injuries that you're managing during that class. We start up in standing and I like to warm up the whole body. We do different arm movements, we do leg movements, we circle our hips, and we look a bit about balance because so much of our daily life requires us to balance well and to be able to transition through movements. I don't really talk about the pelvic floor much during this part of the class, but I do look a bit about breathing. And when we talk about breathing, we're talking about taking a nice deep breath in through the nose and expanding the lungs. The rib cage expands, the tummy expands. And as we breathe out through the mouth. So I'll probably engage the breath a little bit and it would look something like this. Take a nice breath in as you open up your arms. And then a breath out as you bring your arms back together. And this just engages us, engages our focus in the class and allows our breathing to just naturally settle and engage the right parts in our core muscle system as well. All right then, so we do that bit in standing and then I like to do something called a roll down. And a roll down is where we transition from our standing position into our work on all fours. This is my room, by the way. This is where the classes will be held. This is the space. I've got a control, so I automatically move the camera around a bit so that you can get your best view during the class. All right then, so this is a roll down. We take our feet hip width apart. We take a nice breath in through the mouth, in through the nose, and then we bring our chin to our chest and we slowly peel down. And we're imagining that our back is a string of beads and we're peeling one of those beads away at a time. I let the knees soften so I can get my arms all the way to the bottom. And from here I tend to walk us out into an all fours position and then we come down onto our hands and knees. And at this point I zoom in so that you can see me much better. Okay, so I refer to this as our hands and knees position, and when we're in this position we're looking at getting our knees under our hips and our hands under our shoulders. A move that you might have done before is called the cat-cow. And it's where we drop our tummy down, sticking our bottom up to the ceiling. Our chin is also raised, our head is raised. And the opposite part of this exercise tucks the tailbone under, lifts the back up to the ceiling, and tucks the chin into the chest. And while we're doing this, we can recruit the pelvic floor as well. It's a lovely position to do that in. And I want you to imagine that you're taking your pubic bone to your belly button and it's like a zip. And you're zipping it up nice and tight. And we do this on the out breath. So as we're taking a breath in, we're nice and relaxed. And as we're taking a breath out, we're drawing that pelvic floor up. Take a breath in, relax. And then breathe out through the mouth and engage. And once we've gone through that position a few times, we find what's called the neutral position, and this is the position between those two extremes. And then we'll work a little bit in this position, but I'm mindful that this is quite provocative on the wrists, so we don't spend too much time in here, or we make sure we transition it with lots of stretches. Okay, one of the main positions in Pilates then is lying on our back. And we have our feet hip width apart. And what I will usually do is ask you to imagine you've got a satsuma between your chin and your chest, and that's where your head sits. Okay, we're going to try that pelvic tilting, so the same as the cat-cow, but now we're on our backs. So we've got that feedback of the floor, and we can make an arched position, and then we can press the small of the back into the floor. And when we press the small of the back in the floor, we're tilting the pelvis, and we can really engage the pelvic floor in this position as well. So let's give that a go. We're going to take a breath in and make that space in the small of the back, and then we're going to take a breath out and close the gap between the floor and our back. If you're a gentleman watching this video, then a man, then you are going to imagine the words nuts to guts. And if you're a lady, then you are going to be thinking a bit more about that zip all the way from the pelvis to the belly button and drawing that in. If you need any help with recruiting the pelvic floor, then please let me know one-to-one. I don't expect you to do it during the class, but let me know afterwards, and we can spend a little bit of time on Zoom after the class or before the class, just helping you with the right cues to know how to engage that correctly. So in this position then, we likely do some movements with our arms. We might do some bridging where we lift the bottom up. We might do some movements with the legs, sliding them out. But what we're trying to do is always keep the core working strong. And we do that by challenging the tummy muscles and the pelvic floor with the movements we do with our arms and our legs. I will always give different levels, and I never want you to work at a level that means you experience any pressure going downwards or any pain in the back or the neck or the shoulders. Okay, so that's this position. The last position I'm going to show you is where we lie on our tummy. And when we're lying on our tummy, once again, we've got the feedback of the floor, so we can push the pubic bone into the floor, and then we can imagine lifting the pubic bone up and pressing the rib cage, the lower rib cage, down into the floor. And then where we work is in that what's called neutral position, the position between those two extremes. And once again, we work our legs. We might lift both legs together. We work our chest. We work our arms. This is a lovely position for me to get you to work on the posture muscles that really help support you when you're doing lots of sitting, and improve your neck control as well. So, just a quick recap. Please let me know if you've got any questions. I've been practicing Pilates for many, many years and leading lots of groups as well. I really find that this Zoom approach works because you can open up your laptop or your iPad, be in a class, close it down again, and be back into your daily routine and whatever you want to do in your day or your evening time. One thing I will say is that you never need to worry that I might embarrass you during a class. I will never pick on you one-on-one. I will always give generalised comments and say something like, everybody make sure that your hands are under your shoulders, for example. And that means that everybody can just have a quick check, but no one person feels embarrassed. So I hope that reassures anyone that might be a bit nervous joining the classes and knowing what will happen during a class. All right, I look forward to seeing you in the class, and please let me know if you've got any questions whatsoever.